going to start with sit to stands. And for some people, that might even be from a higher surface and then progressing to a lower surface. It might be the armrest of their couch is where they're sitting down and standing up from. Then a progression is adding resistance. Or like JJ said, we're going for speed. So we're going to do it for 30 seconds or a minute. I want you to count out loud. We get the breathing going. Let me know how many reps you can get done in that amount of time. Then maybe we step away from the chair and we're doing squats, a little more balance challenge. We can go a little bit deeper. And then talking about what equipment do they have at home? Are they going to a gym? You know, most people aren't going to have kettlebells at home, but they can be carried. We use reusable bags, those nice heavy duty canvas bags. And we say, put heavy things in it. So if you have some hand weights, if you have cans of food, water bottles, books, so put things so that you do have something that is legitimately heavy. Doing this with 2 or 3 pounds isn't really going to move the needle for what we're going for. We want heavy weights. So this is an example we can show people. This is how we might be progressing it at home. Here are some examples of what might be a high intensity exercise and how to progress it. We might start simple and over time we can even add to it. So first, Terry's just doing her sit to stands. No hands. Form is imperfect. You know, again, we're trying to find balance between good form and high intensity. And I don't think we can be perfectionists on either side. We're really trying to find that middle ground, work hard. And probably by working hard, your form is going to get a little bit better. I'm not going to slow her down and try to have her do things perfectly as long as it is safe. And I don't think that she's going to cause an overuse injury. So now we're adding the tidal tank and doing a squat. So she's not actually sitting down. For some people, sit to stands is harder. For some people, squats is harder. It's good to work on both. I want good control. The tidal tank has weight to it. And then the water is moving. So something like this at home, I mean, like a jug of water. I don't know. I can't think of something on the fly, but there are definitely things at home. Here we are doing sit to stands and we've added a cognitive and a fine motor test. So he is sorting cards as he sits down and stands back up. So he can still get his heart rate up and we can work on those activities that he wants to. Here, we're playing some other games. That is not my main focus. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. I tried to use, for the most part, videos where the equipment we are using is simple. Like I can do 100 million things with a chair, with chairs without arms, nice and stable, sit to stands, and then stepping up on a chair. And then she's reaching up with this weighted bar. Anne has had Parkinson's over 20 years. So don't let someone's statistics in terms of their age or how long they've been diagnosed hold you back from challenging them at a high level. This lady here doing a sit to stand with then side steps, sitting down, and we're adding a weight because why not? We are trying to make the exercise as challenging as possible. That is our job. Figure out what their goals are, what things we want to work on, and then what is the most loaded, most challenging version of that activity. Here to really work on timing and control, weighted ball bouncing, going up above head. A lot of people who have kids at home. Ooh, I like this, coming from sit to stand into a forward plank. Forgot that was in that video. Lots of people at home, balls are something they might have. So figuring out what are the things that people have. They may not even realize that we're going to use this for your circuit or for exercise, but then maybe it's something that they do with their kids or grandkids. Okay, next. Gotta go through it one more time. Some high intensity ideas for home. And here at Rogue as well. At Rogue, at home, I love high intensity exercises with support because balance is not my main focus here. Safety is always, of course, super important. But then for many people to be able to really get their heart rate up, we may need to give them support. So jumping activities with support. We love elevated mountain climbers. We love elevated burpees. We love jumping, stepping, doing many things with holding on. There is nothing wrong with holding on if that's what allows people to push and do more reps, go faster, and work really hard, where otherwise balance might hold them back a bit. So here, burpees. This lady actually had a diagnosis of MSA. So she had one of the atypical versions of Parkinson's. And she had a lot of challenges with balance and some spasticity, but this was a version that she could do safely. And she even was able to take hands off to do that top part of the jump. But this was a great one for her to do to get her heart rate up. Stepping, turning, amplitude. We want to use external focus and cues. People with Parkinson's often have difficulty with turns. And so we're both kind of looking at what is this person's goals and also what are the things that tend to be difficult possibly for this population, because in some cases there are specific things that are difficult for people with that diagnosis. So Terry is stepping back, reaching all the way down to the ground. Oops, I dropped something in the kitchen. I have to step back, pick it up. Now I have to step up onto a stool to put something away in the cupboard, potentially. So we're having your step back, but we want that amplitude. What helps people move big using those external objects means there's a place for them to step to reach for that obstacle and then come back and step up. And again, getting these bistro chairs is something that people may already have, nice, stable chairs that they can use. If not, something like this is not an unreasonable thing potentially for them to purchase, where you could come up with endless circuit workouts using these chairs potentially to step up, use them for support, sit to stands. Here she was putting magnets, moving magnets back and forth. Here Terry is picking up scarves and tying them on the chair, doing these turns, stepping side to side. All right, almost time. So now floor mobility. We did a whole webinar recently on floor mobility. It is something I'm super passionate about. I think it's a skill that just about everyone should have to be able to get down to the floor and back up safely with support as needed. And there are many, many ways that we can work on this. Here we're going from a plank, letting that knee come down and then reaching up. So this is getting down to the ground, but partway, not backing up all the way from the chair. But there's many, many different versions of exercise that can be done here. Padding for under the knees as needed. Here for getting down all the way to someone's stomach, we have chairs set to the side of them instead of directly in front. So they're able to make that transfer all the way down to their belly and back up. We like to practice this in all different ways. This is our stand to prone and back up to stand, which we time for people. And we have the support there. They use the support they need. Then we also do the sit to rise test. So I'm asking Terry to sit down on the ground and get back up using the fewest number of limbs she can. Whoa, no limbs. Very impressive. Terry, this was probably last year when she's 76. She's had Parkinson's for 14, 15 years. And, it's okay to work through this, getting up is hard. I love being down on the ground because it is a safe place to be. And then we might do some mobility on the ground, like scoots. I want people to be able to move around in the ground, scoot, crawl, change positions. These to me are all super important skills for just about everyone to have.